Center of gravity feels like it's around your belly button or something like that. And by doing that, you're kind of engaging your core. Again, unintentionally, but it's like, cool, that works.
And I've found just through the exercises I've done that center of gravity's gotten so much stronger for me drumming now too.
Awesome.
So it's feeling good.
Who would have thought that all the cliches are true?
And which also leads me to diet, where through that course they were sort of recommending certain things, and I've changed a bit of my diet around, especially breakfast. I'll eat sort of like mushrooms and veggies and eggs rather than toast or cereal or whatever, or fruit, to avoid any kind of sugar rush in the morning.
You don't get the crash.
Don't get the crash, but it's also more around the inflammation.
Because
I've got the degenerated disc, so I've got the two bones, I guess, sort of touch each other and cause inflammation there. So that avoiding that sugar rush has helped me a lot too. Whereas I'll still have a chocolate at some point in the day, Funnily enough, I never had a sweet tooth until I did that massive health kick. I did a year off everything. No booze, no sugar, didn't eat fruit. I ate like avos or whatever, but no like apples, oranges, anything that was sugary. Real health kick, extreme for a year, and then eased back into it. But after that, I was like, I really like chocolate.
I like the idea of it. But then post it's always like, oh fuck. I didn't need that, and I feel like shit. But it's still there.
It is.
It's still there.
It's very, very good. Have you had any like drum related injuries that have sort of like similar to what I've had, I suppose, like where you've really had to do a sort of a program to overcome it? And
I guess earlier on, one that scared me a lot was tendonitis and carpal tunnel.
Right.
That would have been mid-20s, I think. And this was, again, I'm showing my age, like before you could just Google all this shit.
Yeah.
There was no YouTube videos around. There was no advice I could kind of revert to. So I just went to the GP. Because it was getting to the point where I ignored it for quite some time, but I was starting to get pins and needles in my hands the whole time. I could still play, but it was hurting a lot. It was like someone having a knife and was just cutting up my arm, like every time I played. So that was I guess the first quote unquote scare. And then the GP at the time just said, "What have you done differently?" I said, "I changed my drumstick size." And they're like, maybe change it back. And I was doing a lot of graphic design at the time. And it was that mouse movement. So I think the combination of changing up a whole bunch of stuff on the kit, plus with this extra
like work.
There was
RSI sort of thing.
I guess I didn't get it.
Repetitive.
Didn't get it treated, but you could say it was RSI. So I made the decision. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do graphic design anymore because I like the drums better. So I pretty much stopped that on the spot. And it went away. Like it was a gradual decrease. And then I completely forgot about it. And I think that's one of the, it's going to sound contradictory, but that's the downside of an injury going away, is you just forget how debilitating it was. And one day it's gone and you've forgotten about it. And then some of the bad habits will creep back in. Right. Just because you forget how stressful it was, how painful it was. And, it's like this, the thing that you love could be taken away by not looking after yourself. So that was, I guess, an early scare. One that I've had more recently, it was equally scary and very fucking painful. tennis elbow.
Oh, wow.
Tennis elbow. Both elbows.
Oh.
Which is equally debilitating. Like, it got to a point I couldn't open a doorknob.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I went and a few years back, I started seeing a physio. So that's one thing that I've started to do is, I guess, a bit more preventative measures rather than, when something's in pain, I'll go to the physio just to, as a habit, just to keep on top of things.
Yeah.
And I had, when was it? Probably 2020. So, around the lockdown times.
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is play drums. So I was doing a lot more playing. Changing the setup a little bit. And I just tweaked my setup so my right hand was probably suffering from it the most at this time. My right elbow. I just moved the ride a little bit further than usual.
Right.
To the right side. So instead of it being my arm and elbow being in a neutral position,
it was
there was a bit of tension. So that's 10 centimeters.
Yeah.
But that's a neutral position. I'm demonstrating here. So,
yeah.
So my arm is just kind of in line with my leg.
Yes.
And that feels neutral. There's no tension there. There's nothing. But you move it 10 centimeters that way. I haven't even played a stroke yet, and there's tension.
Right.
You can feel it. You go from there to there. Yeah. You got tension before you've hit. Inadvertently, my right had gone a little bit too far, and just in that neutral position, there was tension.
Yeah.
So I was just playing as normal, and over time, it just exacerbated because I guess the style of music we played.
There's a lot of notes.
There's a lot of notes.
It's not just hitting the ride. There's a lot of hits on that ride and under tension.
I don't know if you feel this, but there's always a level of pain. We're probably sitting at around 5 out of 10, just at a base level, from the physical nature of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I'd write off a lot of just niggling little things. That's fine.
Same. Yeah.
Until it gets to an 8 out of 10, you're like, okay, I actually can't open the door. I can't turn a fry pan, like things like that. So, okay, we've got some problems.
Yeah.
So I got it treated by physio. Like all the issues I've had are reversible, but very, very painful.
Yeah.
So treating that was a combination of physio-related exercises, stretching, changing the setup a little bit, so getting it back from that not neutral position back to a neutral position.
Back neutral, back straight in line.
Yeah. Just being a bit more mindful of that sort of stuff. The tension and that underlying pain. It's like, well, if there's pain before I've played, let's change it.
Right.
Let's change it. And then actually having some electroshock therapy on the elbow, which is very, very painful, but apparently the literature is there that it works. So I don't know. I don't know if it's snake oil or not, but seems to work. But it's a long recovery process.
Right.
Like it'll dissipate from that 9 out of 10 pain down, and then you're like, oh, it's gone.
Right.
But when you're in that 9 out of 10 pain, it can be pretty debilitating. Especially when you got like 30 days tour. Yeah. So the last European tour we did before I left, my left elbow had
flared up,
and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Right.
It was excruciatingly painful, but you can still play to 100%, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
It's strange. So you literally do play through the pain. Everything works. It's just like someone's got a knife in your elbow at all times.
Yeah.
And I guess there's some active recovery in there, because that was one thing my physio told me. Like, he's a sports physio. He's like, don't fully deload it. Like, it's like you got to actively
keep moving.
Yeah, keep it moving. Yeah. Don't just stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, we just have to tweak it. We just got to move it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just adjust a few things, but do not stop.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Is always movement.
Yeah.
Like, move through the pain.
Yeah.
Healthy movement though.
Yeah. So that's one thing I would recommend if you've got some sort of pain, muscular or whatever,
Yeah.
Maybe don't take the GP's advice.
See a specialist.
See the specialist.
And get some movement therapy.
Yeah. Because the GP is going to say, "Oh, well, stop what you're doing."
Yeah.
And that's probably the worst thing.
And take these painkillers.
Yeah, take this.
They'll be gone in a day.
Yeah. Just crush it up.
Yeah.
So that last European tour was probably the most worrying so I've got 30 days in a row and I can't lift my bag with my left arm.
Yeah.
But by the end of it was like, the pain had gone from a 9 out of 10 down to like a 6 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of months later, it's gone. And you forget about it. And some of the bad habits kind of creep in. So that's why I do try to stay on top of going to see a physio, reminding myself of how debilitating like an injury can be.
Yeah.
Because we just take everything for granted.
Yeah. I mean, I've been very active with seeing specialists. I find acupuncture really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I get massage.
Yep. Same.
Generally I'll do twice a month, so I'll do acupuncture once a month, massage once a month.
Yeah, same. Like, I'll probably, again, on a good week, I'll try to get once a week.
Yep.
Bit of acupuncture with the physio.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't done it for a little while, but it was helping. The float tanks.
I do that too.
That works. Well, you can feel your body just
it's
click
nice
back into place. Yeah.
Just the magnesium. It's one of the most important minerals for our body, apparently, magnesium. So I take it after I work out. I take it before bed in a slightly different form. But
that's one thing that has helped a lot is the magnesium with cramps.
Right, yeah. I don't get cramps, but I do take a lot of magnesium.
I used to cramp up quite a lot with my right hand.
Right.
Especially live. I knew exactly what was causing it. It was just gripping the stick a little bit too tight for my right crash.
Yeah.
And just digging into it too tight.
Yeah.
Too hard, sorry. My right hand would cramp up a lot.
Yeah.
And a mate of mine, Ash, actually put me on to this particular berry flavoured magnesium.
Yeah.
It was night and day, straight away gone. So that's that's part of the warm up routine.
Yep. Bit of magnesium.
Yeah. Yeah, like I put a scoop in a drink bottle.
Yeah.
Drink that while I'm warming up.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Excellent. What while we're talking warm ups, what is your warm up routine?
There is no set routine.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the goal is to break a sweat.
Yep.
You know how it is.
You're judged by the size of the space you have.
Exactly.
As to what you're going to actually do.
Okay, what are we doing?
All right. There's a chair. There's about 3 meters of straight floor, and
there's a party going on over there.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. I try to have sticks in my hand for the entirety of the band before us.
Yep.
They're set.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, I've got the sticks. Let's do something. Let's make sure we break a sweat.
Yeah.
Because I want to, not that we do, but in an ideal situation, you want to be able to play your most intense song first if it came to it. So with that in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I need to be warmed up enough to play that particular song.
Mm-hmm.
So no set routine, just a lot of singles, a lot of doubles, a couple of, paradiddles here and there. the basics.
Yeah.
The basics.
And you can sort of do that anywhere.
Yeah.
Did you carry a pad around much? Or I know you do a lot of tapping on your arms.
Yeah, I do that quite a lot. Yeah.
A little bit of that. Yeah, the
turn
hold
the
stick
stick around.
backwards.